So before you list your home for sale, let me ask you something. Is there anything in your property that you're hoping it doesn't come up during inspections? Because in 2026, one undisclosed issue might not only cancel your contract, it could trigger a lawsuit, end up costing you thousands after closing. But here's the part most sellers don't even realize. Sometimes it's not what you hide intentionally, it's what you just didn't know you had to disclose that becomes the issue. Hey there, I'm Bret Johnson, Associate Broker with Realty Network Group at Real Broker. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what must be disclosed and how to protect yourself while keeping your sale smooth and profitable. So I'd worked with a seller not too long ago, and they'd asked me a pretty simple question. Do I really need to mention this small water leak? It was in the back bedroom. It happened years ago. Everything was fixed. Totally fair question. The issue wasn't the leak, though. The issue is whether a buyer could later claim that they hadn't been informed about it. So instead of just hoping it wouldn't matter or come up, the seller documented it clearly. They showed proof of the repair, and ultimately they controlled the narrative. What was the result? Well, smooth inspection. Buyer's inspector looked for it, no renegotiation problems later, no post-close tension after. That's what a strategic, transparent disclosure does. It just protects your negotiation power, and it ultimately protects your bottom line. So what needs to be disclosed? Well, definitely you need to disclose anything that could be a material defect. These are issues that affect value, maybe safety or livability of the home. Foundation cracks, electric issues, maybe roof leaks, certainly water damage. Here is a filter that I like to suggest to sellers. If a reasonable buyer would want to know about it before writing an offer, it needs to be disclosed. Not because you're trying to scare a buyer, but because surprises are what destroy your leverage. And clarity is what actually preserves it. So if you're protecting your leverage, you're protecting your equity. Now, the next area to fully disclose would be any repairs or renovations maybe you've done to the home the time you've lived there. Kitchen remodel, new roof, HVAC replacement, any major system updates. Even if everything was done correctly, buyers are going to want things. Maybe it's the permits, the warranties. They want to know who did the work. Transparency here will build confidence, and that shortens the negotiation cycle. And let's face it, today's buyers are smart. They're not just buying square footage, they're buying certainty. So another disclosure item to be aware of is one that often makes sellers anxious, and this is environmental hazards. Maybe it's lead-based paint, asbestos, mold, any environmental factor. Buyers in 2026 are more informed than ever. Many are ordering additional environmental testing beyond a standard inspection. So if you know about something, you want to disclose it. Trying to see if it'll come up later is the fastest way to derail your contract. And a contract, unfortunately, that falls apart late, those are the ones that tend to cost real money. So when in doubt, lean towards clarity, because that clarity will end up protecting you and your bottom dollar. So here's the bigger picture. Disclosures are not about admitting flaws. They're about positioning your property correctly and therefore positioning the outcome. The sellers who win in this market, they're not the ones who hide the most. They're the ones who control the narrative from day one. So that's ultimately how you'll make selling your home super easy. So if you're thinking about selling and you're maybe unsure of what applies to your home specifically, let's have a strategy conversation. I'll walk through your property, we'll identify what needs to be disclosed, and then how we position it the right way. This will protect your sale before it ever even hits the market. No guesswork here, no legal surprises, no last minute chaos, just clarity and a straightforward plan. So reach out when you're ready. Let's build it the right way from the start.